Beautiful Mars here. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. Well, now that Easter is over, I have decided to make a rabbit journal. Why? Yeah, timing's never been good, but who cares? I've been through my ephemera here and there, got a few bits and pieces that I thought might work, got some rabbit things, got some gifted things, got some old books, and I'm going to try and put it together. So I thought I'd give you a quick rundown of what I have found to put in my rabbit journal. World famous rabbits. I think the original world famous rabbit was a book called The Velveteen Rabbit by Marjorie Williams. I wrote it in my notebook. Marjorie Williams was from 1881 to 1944. I'm not exactly sure of the date that The Velveteen Rabbit was written. I did find it on Internet Archive as a book and did read it. It was just a cute little rabbit story, but I found this little printed paper, which is, I think, the cover, so I thought that would do. The next famous rabbit, and it's probably the most famous rabbit, is Beatrix Potter's Peter Rabbit. Now, the original Peter Rabbit was written in 1901, and that was the version that came out in 1901, and then there was an updated version that came out in 1902. I read these particularly as a child. I didn't have all of the Beatrix Potter books, but I did have a lot of them in the small format. These were a box of cards that I got from Beatrix Potter, and I thought they might come in handy, so I might use that one. I'm not sure about that one. So that's I think would be the most world famous rabbit. Another one that's well known, where did I put him? Oh, another one that's well known is the Alice in Wonderland White Rabbit. I'm late for a very important date. Those stories were written by Lewis Carroll, and I do believe that Alice in Wonderland came out around 1850. Anyway, so I'll show you the ephemera I have got. I was tossing up what to use as a cover, which can always be an issue, but I actually found this gifted little folder. It's got two pockets here, which I'm not particularly fussed about. It is a little wonky, but then, oops, it is handmade, so it'll need a little thing. But I like it because it's quite a good size and it's quite sturdy. So, inches, it is 8.5 by about 21 centimetres. And in the width it is 6 by 15 centimetres. So I thought it was a good size. What am I going to use for the inside? As the pages, I've already worked that out because, I'll just pull this one over. I have got quite a lot of this nice craft paper that's come as packaging. Thank God they don't use styrofoam anymore. So I thought I might use some of this. This one is not so bad, it's quite flat, but I've got another one that's actually quite crinkled, but I don't care. So I'm going to do, hopefully, I won't just cut all the pages to size, I will do some tucks and folds as I go. So I'm going to use the recycled paper, and I'm going to use the gifted folio thing as a cover. So what have I got in ephemera? So I've got these ones. That's another leftover one that I thought might make a bookmark. I bought these at the thrift shop or the discount shop. They only cost me a couple of cents. And I've got, of course, the Tale of Peter Rabbit and the Fierce Bad Rabbit. So I want to use some images out of that. I have done a Peter Rabbit folio, and I have done a very large Alice in Wonderland journal. So I'm not going to make it themed of either of them. I'm just going to have rabbits. So in my rabbit ephemera, I've got the Velveteen Rabbit. I've got some White Rabbit ones. And I've just gone through and found bits and pieces, stickers and papers, cruising through my stickers and ephemera heap. That's an old world one. So I thought some of these might come in handy to put in. Of course, you can't have a rabbit without carrots. And I found these two in that pile of stickers that I don't want to use. I found a packet of rabbit stickers. And I found some nice, that's the same. One is vellum. One is vellum and one is thing. I thought they're nice. They're also a good size. Came across these lovely rabbit images in, oh, there's another sticker. Rabbit images in a book that, a book of pretty papers I have. Grabbed a few pretty papers as well. This image was interesting. I went to a workshop where two ladies were making dyes and inks from natural products. It was a really, really interesting workshop that went all day. And we not only used their dyes and inks that they made, but we also used some of their stamps that they made, and we did it on calico. And this was one that I got given at the end of the day. It's on calico, and it's one of their own prints with their own inks, and I love it. So I actually thought I might even put it as a rustic page and maybe stitch a pocket on the back. That was a thought for that one. Other things that I thought might work, I've come across a bit of lace, of course a flower. Who could do anything without a flower? And I came across this little gift of ephemera, and there is a little rabbit stencil, and there's a little rabbit cutout, so I thought that might be useful. And all these items here have been gifted to me in Happy Mail or random act of kindness packs. And I thought some of these might be seriously useful in filling the pockets and bits. I just grabbed the ones that I thought might go. I'm probably doing a more vintage style. I haven't really thought of a colour. There's some purple and there's a bit of green and there's some yellow and there's some pink. So whether I actually choose a it's a pocket, whether I actually choose a colour theme, I don't know. I was erring towards the side of purple because that's purple. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the cover yet. I'll probably recover the cover. But anyway, it's a start. At least I got something to go with my journal. Oh, and I also found this bag of Alice in Wonderland charms. And of course, there's some rabbits in there. So I might do a dangle for the spine. I've got a few other coloured bits and pieces of paper to give me a start. I'll probably start with the cover. I will probably, it is a good sturdy cover. It's got a little bit of reinforcing here. I quite like it. I will cover some of it. I won't cover all of it because I think it's a really good cover. I really like the look of it. I like the mateness and the colour. It's not shiny. And I think it'll make a really good start of a cover. So do a bit of collage and something like that, or that one, or I even thought of doing this one on the front. But I actually wanted something, I thought I could stitch that in as a page. I actually wanted something a little bit brighter on the front. Anyway, we'll go from there. I won't be videoing the whole thing. I do have trouble uploading big videos. They just take hours and hours and hours, which is something that I really just can't hang around and do, of course. So I will give you updates as I go, but I will be starting on the cover straight away. And hopefully I'll go through my pictures and see what I can work out for the cover. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time with some updates on the rabbit journal. It won't be Easter, it'll just be bunnies and rabbits and all things cute that go with that. Thanks for watching, bye-bye.